And what we're going to talk about today is Facebook really even a real deal? Is it a scam? How do you make money on Facebook ads? And I'm going to show you exactly what we did for our client over the last 34 hours that's helped him generate $1,200 sales off of just a few dollars in ad spend. Now that might sound like a big piece of crap, right? You might be like, yeah, right, Brandon, sound like everybody else. I'm here to tell you that it's true. And a lot of the times people, and this is a local business, and what I wanted to share with you guys on this training is that it doesn't matter if you're local, it doesn't matter if you are an internet marketer, it doesn't matter if you sell candles on the side of the highway. What matters is that you understand where your target market is. So that's what I wanted to go over with you today, was exactly what you could do to follow the steps that I use to create any converting ad campaign. Now, I go through this with every single ad that I create and every campaign that we do for our clients as well as for our own business. And I'll be honest with you, not every single one of them work the way that we want them to. It's a risk, and that I think is why a lot of the business owners do not really go into Facebook advertising. They're afraid to. They say, well, you know what, I'd rather go where it's safe and talk on social media for days on end, and I'd rather do this and do that. There's really only three ways for you to actually generate revenue. Number one is by paid advertising. Okay, my favorite. Number two is by SEO, outranking people by delivering content that's searchable on search engines like Google and Bing and YouTube and all that stuff. And the third one is social media, which is basically you spending all your time in front of your computer and messaging people and trying to conversate and get to the core issues of your market manually. I like systems we put in place. I love to be able to, like, it's Saturday night right now, right? I love what I do so much. I'm not out partying right now. I could easily be out, having some fun or, doing something else. But instead I'm here with you guys, okay? I want to be able to make sure that you get everything that you need to start really getting a return from Facebook, because it took me a lot of time. It took me a lot of years and a lot of money before I realized, okay, well, there's certain things that Facebook likes and doesn't like, how to find your market, how to set up your audience. And with me, the reason why I'm in front of you right now is because the client that we had was such a hard head. He was such a guy who said, and he'll tell you that too, he'll tell you that. He did not believe that Facebook ads would work for a local business. He's a high-end portrait artist out of LA, and he honestly was like, fight me with this. He was like, hey man, look, I don't think Facebook's gonna work, dude. I don't think it's gonna work. And I had to persuade him a little bit and let him know, hey, look, this is what we've done before, not only with our business, but with our clients as well. And we've been able to make it work. So why don't you let me get a shot? Let's run these for a little bit and we'll test these things and then we'll scale as we go. He fought me for a few weeks. And finally he said, you know what, I'm gonna give in, I'll do this, right? I'll do this, I wanna test it first. So we tested very small. I went ahead, and if you go check it out on Facebook, you'll see that on the business page, you'll see that the email that he sent, plus you'll see the back office of the actual proof to let you know that, hey, look, I'm not BSing you right now, okay? He's really paying about $5.29 per lead right now, and each lead is worth $1,200 to him. So imagine if you could give Facebook $6 and they could give you $1,200. How many $6 would you give them? How many would you give? I'd wake up every morning, I'd borrow money, I'd beg, I would do anything I could to put that money in there if I knew I was getting a return, right? So within 36 hours of us putting together this ad campaign, he's now generating leads and actually booked sessions. Has sessions booked within 36 hours from our ad campaigns. It's exciting. So how do we do this? Okay, enough talking, Brandon. How do we do this? Well, the first thing that we did is we had to identify the offer, right? You've got to have the offer. If you're not clear on your offer, meaning that for us, we are selling a high-end portrait. So his portraits range from anywhere from like $3,000 up to like $25,000. So we want to know, okay, well, obviously the offer that we have is the one-time purchase. The second thing we want to do is make sure that we have the process. So we know that we're going to be offering a blatant bribe. It's just the way it is. We found that when you're more transparent about what it is that you're really after, that the people who are reading your ad or in your market, they're actually going to be more open to buying from you. So instead of saying, hey, like everybody else, hey, come buy my stuff, it's really cool, it's for you, we're saying, hey, look, man, this is a blatant bribe. Come and check out what we got, because we're going to give you a bunch of cool stuff. But yes, this is a blatant bribe to get you to the front door. When you just call it what it is, people don't have an objection. They can't say, oh, well, you're using this. Yes, I am. And I was very upfront with you in the beginning. And that squashes a lot of doubt, and it gets you to get that trust factor with you in your market. So we know we're going to be offering a blatant bribe. That's going to be taken to a one-time purchase, which hopefully, from what we notice, every client of his typically purchases a portrait every 1.5 to 2 years. So we're looking at maybe multiple purchases, but it's very hard to sell a $20,000 portrait in the same year, right? It's very difficult to do that. Not a lot of families are investing that kind of money on a portrait every quarter, right? It's not like you're going to, get new groceries or something. Like, it takes a long time for someone to actually want a new portrait if they just got one. So we know that we're going to have a blatant bribe leading that. Then after you have your offer, we want to know the process. So the process is going to be, we're going to have a lead magnet set up. This lead magnet is going to be where the next step, how we frame that lead magnet and what we're giving away on that lead magnet is going to be framed inside the next step. So we have our lead magnet set up. We have our thank you page, which is really a sales video or a long form sales letter that's going to help them being your leads, your customers, to understand what it is that you're about and what is it that you have to offer and the value behind it, the benefits, and then giving them the call to action to follow the next step. So the next step for us is to have them fill out the calendar to schedule their session, or to have them call, or to have them leave the number and we will call. So we have all these tests going to see which one's going to convert the highest. And for what we see right now, it's basically people filling out the form, okay, filling out a thank you page, which is going to take them to a qualification, kind of like a guest form for photographers. And then once they have that form filled out, it takes them to the calendar where we then call them, or where he calls them. And then he has the actual pre-design consultation, which is where he upsells, makes the sales, and then we have the portrait session. So this is the process that we built for him. Okay, it makes the most sense. We're testing things within that funnel so we can optimize it, maybe cut some things out, possibly add some things. Let me check real quick to see if we're okay. Good. All right, so we're still live. Last time, man, I just did a Periscope. I thought I was doing it while I was doing my live training, and it didn't record, so I want to redo it for you guys. So after we have the offer and we have the process, we want to make sure that we can make it irresistible. This one question alone is not being asked by 95% of the people who do ads, okay? If you are going to be creating an advertisement, okay, whether it be on Facebook, wherever it is, you've got to understand, how can I make this offer irresistible? What can I do to make it irresistible? If it's irresistible, that means that nobody can say no. And of course, we know that's not true. Everybody has people inside their market that are going to say no at some time and point. But what we want to do is, how can we make it irresistible? Now, let me go through this real quick with you. We are offering, right, 25 gift cards or holiday cards for every purchase that they make, right? So if you get 25 holiday cards, imagine you don't have to go shopping, you don't have to do this, a big time saver, right? Plus it's valued at about, I think, 25, it's like $200, like a $200 or $300 value right there. Then we have the framing that we're highlighting because he uses like exceptional framing, top of the art, right, stuff like that. 100% guarantee. So if you don't like it, we'll reshoot it, redo it, or refund it, whatever it is. So 100% guarantee. Then we have a free pre-portrait design consultation, which again is valued at $175 for our client. We're then giving away a $500 gift portrait on top of whatever it is that they purchase, and we're giving a $350 portrait credit. Then we're even going one step above and beyond, and we're going to say that you're going to get a 20% applied credit if you purchase your portraits before we actually take the session. So what we're saying is, hey, look, we've had the pre-portrait design consultation. We know that you're interested. We've gone through these things. You showed, complete interest, and you said, I want to book my session. Well, what happens next is we're saying, okay, look, if you pay for your session for the prints that you want before we actually go to camera and go on location or inside the studio, I'm going to allow you to get a 20% credit applied to that purchase. So if you come to me and you say, I want to purchase this portrait, and that portrait costs you $2,000, when you come in to my studio, okay, when you come to our client studio, you're going to walk away with $2,400 worth of prints. So again, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is to see how we bonus stacked all these things. And this is a photographer, okay, a local photographer in LA. He had no idea that you could do this. When we started to pick his brain and see, what could we give to these folks? What can we give to your market that is completely irresistible, that they cannot say no to? It took him a little bit to give us these things because he didn't want to give them away for free. But then when we explained to him and shared with him and showed him that the moment that you give more value and you give more than you take, the universe is always going to repay you. It's the law of reciprocity, right? And when you have that, you now have, guess what? An amazing ad copy. You have amazing ad copy, email copy. You have a way for you, depending on where you're marketing this at, now you know what triggers you need to pull to get them into your offer, right? You know that. You've done it already. So then the next question becomes, okay, well, if I understand what's going to make it irresistible, I need to know, what problem is this solving? Like, what problem am I really solving with my offer? In this instance, we're solving people getting ripped off. A lot of high-end people out there do not have the quality material. They don't do the real high-end work, okay? But they still charge those prices, and people walk away feeling they got ripped off. Buyer's remorse. We don't do that. Don't feel like that with what we got going on. Next thing that we solve is a one-stop shop for all Christmas holiday cards. For all your holiday cards, literally, come get your portrait taken. We'll take care of all your holiday cards. Boom, that's huge for that market. Then we have creating memories. How many times, let me ask you, think back to this time last October. Do you remember where you were at this day, last October exactly? Probably not. It's because we do not remember that well. So what we have to do is create memories. So we're solving a problem right there. The next thing is that we're turning basically normal pictures into actual stunning portraits. It's completely different from a picture to a portrait. So we're helping them understand that don't just have your grandma there take a picture. Why don't you get an expert to do it and pull the emotion out of it, right? So now what we have is the problems that it's solving, which is again going to help us identify the problems and relate with our market. It's also going to help us write that ad copy. So imagine you've got all these offers, right, or the ways to make it irresistible. You have your problems that it's solving. Now we want to know who has these problems, right? I mean, it just makes sense. That's the next step. That's the next logical step to take is to, once we identify the offer, identify the process, have how we can make it irresistible, we know what problem it's solving, and then we want to know, well, who the heck has these problems? I mean, if we were targeting high-end executives with no kids, probably not the best, they probably don't have this problem. They probably could care less about a portrait. But who has this problem? Probably a stay-at-home mom or possibly maybe an executive, a parent or families of large numbers. So if you have, say, me, I got 2 kids and 1 on the way. 2 and 1 on the way, can you believe it? And what I know is that time just flies so fast. So, I mean, I love pictures. I would love to be able to have portraits taken. I'd love to be able to capture all these moments and recreate these exciting times, right? I don't want to forget about the best parts of my kid's childhood. You know, I don't want to forget that. These portraits help capture those moments and capture the entire event. It's incredible, you know what I mean? So we know that the problems that they solve, or we know who have the problems now. It's a lot of larger families, mothers. You know, I don't want to get into too detailed of the specific because I don't know who's watching this, but the targeting, you want to know who has these problems, right? And then we get to the fun part. So you've gotten like the first half done, right? You've gotten the first half done your research, you understand who you're talking to, what problem it's solving. Then we want to get to the actual ad creation. This is where the money is. People think the money's made in the advertising, like the ad creation. The money's made over here, okay? If you do this part right here, you creating the ad is going to be a piece of cake and you're going to see results a lot better than you would if you did not do this research. You just went straight to the ad and tried to fill it in as you go. It's not the way this works, okay? So there's 3 parts to a high converting ad, okay? So if you're taking notes, take the notes because 3 parts. The first part is a yes question. When you're creating your ad, you get into your ads manager or you get into the power editor. We always create them in the power editor. So when you get there, you're going to see a text box, right? That text box is going to be where you put your ad copy. The ad copy's got to start with a yes question. It's got to start with a yes question. Now, you can put like in front of a yes question. So like for here, we have, how are you preparing for the holidays? How are you preparing for the holidays? Not really a yes question, right? Then we have the better one. Our family pictures in your holiday plans? That's a yes. That's a yes. We want people who are saying yes to that to be our customer, right? So we want to ask a question that's going to get our market to say yes. And then in front of that, you can call out your actual market. So if we're targeting stay-at-home moms, we could actually put like attention moms, right? Exclamation point. And then go into our family pictures in your holiday plans. They're going to say yes. You go into the ad copy. Start to mention about your offer. What is it that you have? And you don't start with the irresistible part. You're going to start with the problem that it's solving. You see how that works? So you help them remember that they have a problem. A lot of people who are families, large families, they don't even realize how important it is to have these pictures sometimes. So get them to remind them, you know, hey, look, you're not going to get ripped off. There's going to be no buyer's remorse here, right? And of course, we would work on the ad copy. I mean, our ad copy is incredible so far. So what we want to do is make sure you have those inside the ad copy. Then the next part is underneath that text spot inside the power editor, you're going to see something called headline, where you're going to put the headline to your ad. The headline is going to be a command. So go do this, download this, register here, get amazing photography, get amazing portraits today. You want a command. You want a command. I can't say it enough. So when you see a lot of people out there who have these ads and they're like asking questions in the ad copy or in the headline, that is a big mistake. That's a big mistake. You do not want to do that, okay? I don't know psychologically why, okay? I don't know why, but I know that when we are going through our testing and we start with a question up top here, that's what's going to get them to look further and to read in the ad copy. If you have your question here in the command, they might actually look at that question, think of the answer themselves without ever seeing the ad copy, and move on and scroll down the page. Having it in the questionnaire is going to get them to click that See More button so that you can actually get them to read the ad copy. Then inside the benefits, so you have the text spot for the ad copy where the yes question goes. Underneath that, you have the headline section where the command goes. Underneath that, inside your Power Editor, you're going to see text or description of the ad. That description section is going to be where you place the benefit. Now, the benefit is going to be the solutions that they're going to receive based off the problems you've identified. So your description could be like, no more buyer's remorse, find a one-stop shop that can take care of all your holiday needs while you're creating amazing memories with your kids and family. Like, you could literally do that. That's the description. Those are the benefits right there, right? Those are the benefits. So again, offer, process. How do I make this irresistible? The more ways you can make it irresistible, the better off you are. Then who or what problems is it solving? Who has those problems? You have all that information, you're good to go. You get into your Facebook Ads Manager or Power Editor, you start to create the ad. You put the yes question, you put the command in the headline, you put the description, right, with the benefit. Then you move on to the very final part. So after this, you're done, right? You think you're done. You're like, oh, I'm good. Yeah, I got my ad up. No, you're not done yet. You're not done yet. Next thing you got to do is figure out distribution. Are you going to distribute it on Facebook? Are you going to distribute it on Facebook and other angles, other areas? Like we have Google, Yelp, Facebook, Instagram. We have all these advertisements going, right? Well, once you have that identified, then you want to know the placement. So in Facebook, you have desktop, you have mobile, you have the audience network, you have right column ads. You have a bunch of different ways for you to actually give your market your advertisement. So you want to be able to test these things. So as a quick guide for you on testing, choose one element at a time. One element at a time. So what I encourage people to do is to begin testing with their interest. Okay, so figure out, you want to have a ad copy that's put together, right? Have the same ad copy, same image, same headline, same description. Test interest. Okay, and then once you have that really refined and optimized, test the placement, right? You want to test the placement. Is it going to be desktop? Is it going to be mobile? Is it going to be right headline, left, whatever it's going to be, right? Test the placement. So test the ad copy, test the placement, and there's so many different tests. I mean, there's so many different tests that we can go and run through. Then when you have those elements tested, so let's say that I have $20 a day to my ad budget, and I run 2 ads for $10 a day, and each ad is the same except for I'm testing the interest. So then once I have those targeted interests that are bringing me a positive return, I'm going to kill the ad that's not performing as well, and I'm going to keep the one that is. And then I'm going to make a variation of that. So now we know that, okay, let's say that stay-at-home moms, okay, are the #1 interest. Then we want to be able to choose another element. So we'll take that same ad and we'll say, okay, well, let's run this ad on mobile and desktop, and we'll do it $10 each for that way. So now you know, okay, well, now you know it's mobile that's going to outperform desktop. So mobile and mothers who are stay-at-home moms with families of 4 or more, right? So now you have that. And then you want to go and test the ad copy. Okay, you want to test long form, short form, medium, right? So then you're going to start to really bring together everything you need for a high converting ad. Now, if you have a larger budget, this is why you have an advantage. This is why you have an advantage. Because if I have, say, $100 a day to put into advertising, right? I'm going to collect the data that I need to optimize my offer, testing multiple offers within I would say about 2 weeks. I'd say about 2 weeks. Now, if you only have, say, $10 a day, it's going to take you about probably 4 or 5 times as long as that. It's probably take about 2 months to actually optimize one ad campaign. This is why if you have $1 or $2 or $5 a day, it is helpful, but there's a whole other strategy that we want to go around. I'm not going to share that with you in this one, but just know that if you do have a smaller ad budget, you can go ahead and make it work either way, okay? So once you have all that, and then we have where we're going to actually distribute it. Then we want to have our benchmarks, okay? You do not want to get into a point where you're just saying, okay, well, I'm just going to get leads, and if I get leads, I'm going to be happy. That's not an intention. That's not a specific result, okay? What we want to do is set a benchmark. We want to know, are we above or are we below where we think we should be? So based off of previous experience, previous results, other clients' results, other people in the same industry, niche, same budget, you want to be able to collect this data and give yourself a benchmark. So for us, we can safely assume that we can get 3,000 people to his website or to his offer per month on social media, right? So just without any paid advertising, just doing posting and engaging and promoting with value and doing all these cool things right on social media, which he takes care of, right? We teach his staff how to do that. Okay, we work one-on-one with him and his staff to make sure that all of this is working together, right? So next we have on the other side, so let's go back to the cold traffic. So that's cold traffic. That's pretty much social media, cold traffic, warm traffic. You're having people every day come to your page, right? Or his page. Once that happens, we're looking at about a 1% conversion rate, right? To cold traffic. That's about standard in the industry. That's about standard across any industry across the board. If you're going to have people who have never seen or heard of you before come to your page or offer, you're going to get about 1% of them actually go through and purchase. So what we're looking for, and plus Facebook is national, he's a local guy, so you're going to have people from different mediums that are out of state or out of city that are going to come and like him. So again, it's going to be probably about 1% that we're going to be able to convert. That equals 3 sales. 3 sales, okay? Now, if we're looking at look at the difference between cold traffic with social media and warm traffic with paid advertising. If you can't see it on Periscope, it's over here, but what I'm saying is that you have a big difference. It's showing right now that if you were to get the same amount of people to see your ad, okay, and you were going to split them up from warm and cold, you would convert 5 times as much warm traffic as you would cold traffic. Why is that? It's because they've already been exposed to you. They already see your stuff. You're familiar. They see your brand and they want to be a part of it. So imagine it's 3 sales through social media, no paid advertising. I imagine we can get about 3 high-end clients for 3 high-end customers for our client over the course of a 30-day period. We run the ads for him. We start to get that going on automation. No longer does he have to pay his staff extra hours because they're on social media trying to engage and close people into conversations. He's actually get to build a whole and entire system, right? From lead generation to sale, where all he has to do is talk with people who are qualified and ready to buy. Can you imagine what that does for his stress level? Can you imagine what it does for his freedom? Can you imagine what it does for his revenue? It goes through it's crazy. It is crazy how different it is, right? When you have that process set up, that's going to bring you an ROI on your time and your money. So right now we see that we can get 15 sales from warm traffic using our paid advertising strategy and 3 sales from our social media strategy. That's 18 sales. 18 sales times, say, average of $3,000? Do the math on that. 30, 40 grand in a month that he's going to be getting when before he's averaging between 15 and 20. We're going to double his entire revenue, okay, in about a 30-day span. It's incredible. So let's start from the beginning, okay, so let's craft it out. That's the benchmark. That's why the benchmarks are key, because if at the end of the month we don't see 15 sales, we know we did something wrong. If we have more than 15 sales, we're like, okay, look, this is amazing. We only expected 15 and we got 18. It's amazing, right? So to recap from the very beginning, offer must be created. You got to create the offer first. That's where it all begins. Second is going to be having the process, knowing exactly what your customer and lead are going to go through. Are they going to go through a calendar, a qualification, a direct mailer? Are they going to get something to invite them to Facebook? What is the process that you want your customer to go through, right? Identify that process. And then ask yourself the one major question, which is, how am I going to make this offer irresistible? Come up with many different ways for you to do that. And then you're going to get into, well, okay, so I understand all that. What problem is it solving? Who has these problems? Create the ad. How are you going to distribute it? And then it's going to go into the actual benchmark. So again, this might seem like it's incredibly, like you're like, wow, Brandon, that's a lot. It is. It absolutely is. And that's why 95% of the people in business say that advertising doesn't work and that Facebook is a scam. I think that's complete horse crap, because the fact that a lot of these people, they're not putting in the time. Do you know what it takes to go through this research? It takes hours, okay? And if you don't have multiple people, it could take days. If you're not familiar with the industry, it could take weeks. So understand, if you're not getting it done in an afternoon, don't get down on yourself. But understand there is a way that you can actually improve the time it takes for you to do this. And that's by getting with somebody one-on-one. Now, that's what I wanted to offer you guys right now. If you're interested in figuring out how it is that we can help you decide on what it is that you need to target, how do you create the funnel, what process would be best for you and your product or your customers, right? And how to put it all together and attach a behaviorally dynamic follow-up campaign so you never miss out on a single sale, then I want you to go ahead and visit BrandonNorthwick.com. That's going to be a place where you're going to see a little bit about our results. You're going to have an option to opt in, and it's going to take you to a qualification form. Very short qualification form, just enough information for me to, when we meet, get right to it. I'm going to have everything I need to be able to build out a complete funnel for you. I'm talking about from lead page to follow up, the entire process and system. And I'm going to give you step-by-step instructions on what you can do to help generate sales like this in the next 30 to 90 days. So again, it's BrandonNorthwick.com. We're going to spend about 75 minutes together on this meeting, okay? And like I said, it's going to literally be me bringing out all the stops. You're not going to get anything left without you, unturned. I'm not going to keep anything for myself. There's no reason to. And you might be wondering, well, Brandon, look, man, I mean, you just spent some time teaching me all these things right here. Why the hell would you do this for free? Well, there's two reasons, okay? The first reason is that I honestly know what it's like to not know this stuff. I remember that, and it's ingrained in my brain because of how bad it felt not to be able to have somebody that I could turn to that could help me the way that I'm loving helping our clients and the people that come on board. Because for years, we struggled in the internet marketing business. We had no clue what to do. We went from affiliate program to, all these different things. We purchased products and coaches. We did all these things. And it always seemed like people were just hiding something. You know what I mean? Felt like all the things and all the leaders that we were learning from didn't give us the real deal. So what we did, me and my wife, is we took everything that we had and we went and created Northwicks Consulting. This is a new age consulting firm. It's nothing like what a lot of people are used to. We do things completely different, and it's an amazing way. And what it does for our clients and what it does for the people that actually follow us, like you watching this right now, is it gives us a chance to give you value and give you results in advance. What we do is we pride ourselves on results in advance, giving you and giving a lot more than we would ever expect to take in return. So the second reason, right, I told you there's two reasons why we're doing this for free. First reason is because I understand how you feel. I know what it's like, and I want to be able to help you honestly. Number two is because it's how we get our daily clients. Now, at the end of our meeting, I'm just going to ask if you'd like any help putting together the plan that we created. If you say yes, then we'll discuss bringing you on as a client. If you say no, then you get to keep the recording, you get to keep the blueprint, you get to keep the step-by-step action steps. Yeah, it's all yours. I'm not going to ask for it back. All I do ask, if you do want to do and take it on your own, is to just keep in contact with me and share your results. That's it. I'm really rooting for you to succeed, and I really do care about you. I mean, if you're watching this, no matter where you're at, on Periscope, live training, or anywhere else right now, I really want you to know that I care about your success a lot, and that's why I do these things for you. I mean, it's Saturday night, right? It's Saturday night, and I'm here right now doing a live training for you instead of being out partying with my friends or doing anything obnoxious that I could be doing. So again, get on the grind. Make sure that you're hungry. Make sure that you have all this set up. Make sure you have all this set up. And if you have any questions, like I said, visit BrandonNorthwick.com. Schedule your, once you qualify or once you fill out the qualification form, it's going to take you directly to my virtual calendar. You're actually going to be able to schedule your own time personally with me, where I will literally break down everything that you're doing right now and set you up with a nice plan for the next 90 days. So I really appreciate you taking time out today, man. We really crushed it. I'm happy that you got to learn this. And you on Periscope, if you want to see this part of the board over here, go ahead, and I'm going to put the video up, I imagine, either tonight or tomorrow. So keep your eye out for that. Follow me on Facebook. It'll be there. And you'll be able to either rewatch this or get the entire board, okay? So I hope that you have a blast tonight. Go out there and crush it, man. Get started on this. And I hope, and I look forward to seeing you on our meeting. So again, go out and crush it, and I'll see you on the next one, man.